Hello, fellow adventurers. Melissa here with Pixie Dust Adventures Travel Company.
And Easton from Easton's Edge.
Today, we're absolutely thrilled. We are on board the Disney Magic, and right here behind us is Disney's Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. And we are going to be among the very first people to sink our toes into the beautiful white sand and the pristine shores of the amazing beaches on Lookout Cay.
Guys, I'm pretty excited about this because, like your mom said here, no one else has been on this island yet. And as you can see, the dock is like completely empty. The water is really nice. We got like a little sneak peek earlier with a really wide zoom lens and it looked amazing. So I'm pretty stoked.
I was tearing up and crying this morning when the ship was coming into port, slipping into port for the very first time. And the crew were pulling the ship ashore, and just me thinking about all the memories and everything Disney magic brings to us. I've been sailing with this amazing kiddo since he was 3 years old, and your first cruise was on board the Disney Wonder. We love bringing you with us to these amazing destinations.
All right, I think it's about time to disembark, so let's get going. After we got off the ship, the next step was to go to the pier. And I just want to say that the cast and crew were like super excited to see us, which was awesome because we were also excited to be there. But nonetheless, we got on the pier. And I know there's like a lot of controversy about the pier, so what about that?
There's been a lot of talk about how long this pier is to get to the Mabrika Cove Welcome Center in order to take the tram. And I just want to tell everybody the reason for that is that they couldn't dredge out the sand because they didn't want to ruin the environment for the wildlife. There's 74 species of fish and a lot of coral and sponges that live there, so they built a trestle pier to protect them. But let me address everybody's concerns. Everyone's asking about accessibility needs. So if you have a scooter, you can take that scooter down the pier to meet the tram. If you are walking, but maybe you have had knee surgery or something like that, you feel like you cannot walk that far for whatever reason, you need to talk to Disney Cruise Line Guest Services before that morning, and they do have carts that they can arrange for you to take off from the ship to the Mabrika Cove Welcome Center. But how did you feel about the walk over across the pier?
I did not find the walk to be that bad at all, and today was a pretty hot day, I would say, and we did stop, but it only took us like 15 minutes to get down the entire pier. I think it would take the average person like 8 minutes, and if you really hustle, like 5 to get down the whole thing. It wasn't bad at all. It honestly reminded me a lot of the walk from Castaway Cay if you don't take the tram. It reminded me a lot of that, and we walk that by choice every time, so I don't think it's bad at all.
Right. Yeah, it's all in perspective. But either way, Disney has a solution for you. So just, reach out to them.
Right.
All right. So we arrived at the Mabrika Cove Welcome Center. And funny enough, the word Mabrika means welcome. So when you arrive there, of course, there's the first and last chance shopping. There is a place where you can buy drinks. And there's also the turbot berth, which is the charter boat check-in. There wasn't a lot there since this was the preview cruise, but I'm sure they're going to have charter boats there in the future. We made our way over to the trams, and there's 2 trams, and there were empty trams circling around. There was a lot of people there. But if you give you a little tip here, if you squeeze your way kind of behind the first tram area and go on to the second one, sometimes it's less crowded. So what did you think? We didn't really have to wait too long to get on the trams, right?
No, we didn't wait that long at all. I might be moving on a bit. You might have some more to say, but when I got on the tram, I have to say that the tram ride itself, I think, was slow. For some reason, when you get on a Disney tram in Disney World, you get on a tram at Castaway Cay, they're hustling you from where you're at to where you're appointed to point B. This felt like more almost like they wanted to make it into an experience, and you're hearing a little curly-tailed lizard talk to you about
the nature,
the
nature and the experience, and that's kind of coming through the speakers, right? Yeah. And they're teaching you about the environment, but I think also this was their very first day ever doing this. Mm-hmm. So I think there was some training and hiccups that are probably going to be worked out and go a lot smoother in the future.
So we'll let you guys know about that when we do it again.
And you took a video of the whole tram ride. Yes. How long did that take?
It was about a 10-minute little drive there. And And like I said, it's really just my opinion that I think they moved kind of slow. To me, I want to get to the park. Like, I want to see things. So to me, having to sit in the tram was...
Right. And I also think that they might get a little bit faster as time goes on.
Yeah, so let's update everyone on that after we go next time. A couple little last things here. What about accessible trams?
Right, because everybody's worried about accessibility and this situation. If you have a scooter, you can take the scooter across the pier, and there are accessible trams that can accommodate wheelchairs and scooters on them. So that's not a problem at all.
And so the thing is too, like, if we saw signs, if you have a scooter, you have to take it on the tram, like, or walking in general. You can't walk to the park. You have to take the tram. So there's signs that say no walking past this point.
Right, exactly. There is no option like on Castaway Cay. You can walk around if you want to walk around. But in this situation, to get to the main areas, you do have to take the tram. It is required.
Yeah.
So, all right. We've taken the tram there, and it stops across from Goombay Cultural Center, and we decided to take a right and go right over towards Sebastian's because we wanted to explore the children's area. There's been a lot of questions about that, and usually there is no open house for the children's area.
At all.
Yeah, but because this was a media thing, we got to go in and explore that. This is for kids ages 3 to 10. It is a secure area, and parents cannot come in. You can drop your kids off and you can leave them there, and they will take care of them until you come back to pick them up. What did you think about it when we explored it?
I thought it looked like a blast. If I was a really little kid, it literally looked like walking into a beach paradise. Like, they had sandcastle makers and things set up into the sand, like for little, like it was built for little kids. Friendly, cool things, splash grounds. It was all under shade. The whole thing was under shade. And then they also had like a whole separate lunch area. Really nicely well done. And one last thing that I want to point out is this guy was showing us that the concrete, they somehow made it to where it doesn't burn your feet. Even when it's blazing hot, I was feeling it, and it was not hot at all. It's not going to burn your feet. So that's super cool.
I don't know what the magical recipe was for that, but that was really amazing. And it was just themed so much fun and so bright and cheery that kids will love to spend time there. All right. So after Sebastian's, we continued around to the right, and we went through the Tru Tru BBQ. It wasn't open yet, but there was a lot of shaded seating. And you know, Tru Tru, it means exactly.
Oh.
That's what it means from the Bahamian language and culture. There's lots of seating in the shade. The roof is designed like shelves, so kind of to match the environment. And it was just a really nice place to walk through.
Yeah, no, honestly, I mean, we'll talk a lot more about this later when we actually talk about lunch, but I completely agree with every statement that you just made, and that's all I have to say about that.
After that, we headed on around and went to the Play Pavilion, where the beach bash takes place. And honestly, we're going to come back to you. We didn't have time to attend the beach bash, but I can tell you right now, and you can see it here, they're setting up for it. There's Goofy's Good Day Limbo, Chippendale's Water Brigade, Pluto's Pineapple Ring Toss. It's all family activities, and it's all in the shade. We'll swing back around to that probably in our next video. But after that, it's time for some lunch.
My favorite part. One of my favorite parts.
So we're going to circle back around to Tru Tru BBQ, and we're going to take a look at this food that was inspired by Bahamian culture.
Yeah, so I had the spiced chicken sandwich, or I think it was called, and let me tell you, it was spiced. No false advertising, as you can see here. But I mean, honestly, all the food looked absolutely delightful. Here's some footage of all of the amazing food. It all looked great. What do you think?
It was hard to decide what to eat. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But we'll give you guys kind of a quick peek at all of it here.
All right, we just had lunch at Tru Tru BBQ. Tru Tru means exactly. Did you know that?
I did not.
All right, it is taking us quite a while to explore Lookout Cay, which we knew it was going to be a destination that you would have to visit more than once. So today, we just want to let you know we're going to give you our overview of everything that we can explore today. I mean, we're not even taking a vacation. We may not even end up in the water today. So stay tuned because we're going to be back in a couple weeks back to this island. So we want you to stay tuned to our channel because the next time we're going to cover things that maybe we missed this time or may have changed since the preview cruise.
Yes.
But we want you to stay tuned because in a couple weeks, we're going to spend a lot more time exploring and enjoying the water, right? Because right now we're just running around and we're trying to get coverage of everything that is open now for you that will not be open later.
All right, moving on after our lunch. Throughout this area, you'll notice that there are boardwalks everywhere. And they have built these boardwalks up above the sand to protect the flora, the fauna, the crabs, the little animals that live down in there. And also, I think, make it easier for you to get to the beach because it's harder to walk in the sand. But did you know there are more than 200 species of plants there?
Wow, that's a lot on this tiny little island.
That's a lot. And as you go through everywhere, there are little signs and QR codes that you can scan throughout to interact and learn about all of that.
Super cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I have to say, not trudging through the sand and trudging through it was an absolute miracle. Like, I did not want to have to trudge through the sand to the beach. So yeah, I really appreciated it. And everything really was lifted. Everything except for the beach. So you really didn't have to deal with the beach unless you were on the beach.
Right. All right. So let's go take a look through one of the bars, the Watering Hole Bar. And I will say there are 5 bars. They all sell similar drinks. But when I say bar, these are the drinks that are at an added cost. So there are free drinks as well. Disney always includes soda and those kind of things. And free ice cream. Don't forget the free ice cream. But that's all located over by the Tru Tru barbecue stations. So when you go in the bar, all of those drinks are an extra charge. And there is also one smoothie station that I know you're going to be ordering a smoothie when we're back in a couple of weeks,
Yes,
right?
So I had to miss out and skip the smoothie this time because I was working. But it looked absolutely amazing, especially the pineapple one. Honestly, it looked very similar to the bar, except for the fact that it was smoothies instead.
All right, and right there behind the smoothie station, convenient location, there was the Rush Out, Gush Out family water play area. It's a freshwater play area, and just a lot of fun for everyone. Grown-ups, kids, no age restriction or age limit. Everybody just having a wonderful time playing in the water because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, so both Sebastian's Cove and this little Rush Out, Gush Out play area are both freshwater, not saltwater. So awesome for kids to play in, obviously. But honestly, it looked like a blast. It looked like a blast to me.
All right, so now let's go on over. We went on over to the Goombay Cultural Center. One of the things that we were really intrigued about seeing at this Lookout Cay Day was the cultural immersion into the Bahamian culture, because that is one of the big differences between Lookout Cay and Castaway Cay. Castaway Cay was made up surrounding a fictional story about castaways being stranded there, and Lookout Cay is all about the real culture of the Bahamian people. So the Goombay Cultural Center is where all of the action for that takes place.
To me, honestly, this cultural center feels like the heart of Lookout Cay. Like, really, it in my mind, when I think back on the day, it sticks out in my mind the most. Everything really, really exciting to me happened there. And I think that's just kind of almost by design.
Absolutely, because that is the center. It is the heart of Lookout Cay right there. But they have different times. You can look up what the times for the activities are, and each activity is usually twice a day. That they have a crafts time, and during the crafts time, you get to make your own Junkanoo headdress. that you can wear and participate with later on. And it's just made from cardboard and kind of recycled materials. So you can sit there in the shade and comfort and make that. And they'll tell you all about the history of their culture.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It's all really awesome.
They had a Junkanoo workshop, and they had Junkanoo experts there that were teaching us all about Junkanoo, and we had the opportunity to participate. So we got to bang the tables, and they were banging the drums and teaching us the beat, and we got to shake cowbells and dance around a little bit. And that was all in preparation for Rush. What's Rush?
So Rush was the amazing, like literally spectacular Junkanoo performance, and we got front row seats to it. Let me tell you, when you could feel the music and feel the vibrations, and they compared the beating of the drum to a heartbeat, and you could feel it. Like if you guys can see it here. Maybe we should just let them have a little taste of it. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was awesome for us. What do you think about it?
Oh, it was amazing. And you know what? Not only those amazing Junkanoo costumes that they made out of junk, cardboard, because junk new, they made something new out of junk, and it became this whole celebration and parade and performance, and you really could feel that in your chest. And guess what? Of course, Mickey,
oh yeah,
Minnie, Donald, and Daisy joined in the fun in their Junkanoo outfits as well. All right, so there's been some questions surrounding snorkeling. So the snorkeling and swimming is different on Lookout Cay than it is on Castaway Cay. Now again, the water's beautiful, it's warm, it's like bath water, it's clear. It is open ocean. It is not netted. So you're definitely out in the open ocean there. But we asked a few questions of the snorkeling experts at the snorkel rental place by the beach. And here's a couple of facts and tidbits. Age 11 and 12 can snorkel if they're supervised by an adult. An adult has to be there as well. Age 13 and up can snorkel alone. Age 10 and under cannot snorkel. It's a safety issue. And they don't ask for ID, but again, it's for safety reasons. So I encourage you to follow those rules. Even if you bring your own snorkel, it's only for ages 11 up.
Yeah, the gentleman was explaining that the vests don't fit right on any younger than that, and it's just not safe. So do with that what you will.
Right. So you can bring your own snorkel, and if you bring your own snorkel on Castaway Cay, you know, they loan you a snorkel vest free of charge. But on Lookout Cay, they have more of the life vest style vests. You don't get a snorkel vest free of charge. But here's a few prices for you. You can get the full set with the snorkel, the vest, the flippers, the mask. The whole thing is $38. And you can reserve that in advance, or you can walk up and rent it at the snorkel station when you get there.
Right.
If you need just the vest and the fins because you've brought your own snorkel, it's $22 for the day. And there is a special location. You do have to snorkel within the white buoys. You can't just snorkel with the whole stretch of beach. And one other rule with the snorkeling is that there's no diving, because the lifeguards need to be able to see you and watch you, because there are lifeguards on the beach.
Right, and they were enforcing that as well. Something else cool that we learned was that another good reason to stay in those white buoys is that there are, as Disney did not want to disrupt the wildlife, there are corals outside of those white buoys that he said will sting you pretty badly. So stay within the white buoys when you snorkel.
Right. And all those beaches, I want to add, the beaches are secured. They're secured private beaches. They're secured by guards. Wonderful for beach walkers, though. You can walk all the way up and down those beaches if you just like to walk on them. And again, I want to say one more time, it is open water. It's not netted. We decided to head on over and explore the adult cabanas after that. The adults area cabanas. So this is just a quick look at what they look like. Again, there was a lot of media. We didn't get inside of any of the cabanas, and there are very few of them in the adult section, but they're close to everything, within walking distance.
Yeah.
And also there's food and drink. There's another Tru Tru BBQ. It's a smaller version of it, but there is food there. There are drinks, and there is an adults only beach area as well. So there's also plenty of shopping because you are going to want to take home souvenirs, because in the Treasures of Eleuthera store, there is Bahamian merchandise. So this is coffee made in the Bahamas, handcrafted things made by them.
My favorite part was the recycled conch. I thought that was so cool. They used recycled conch shell to make like jewelry and stuff, and I wasn't interested in buying, but I just thought that it was a cool process.
And there's artists that put their work there too and display that as well for sale in case you want to take home a print. And then there's also a shop called Disney Tings. It was very crowded, and this sells Lookout Cay exclusive merchandise. You cannot buy it online. You cannot buy it on the Disney ships. You cannot buy it in the Disney parks. You can only buy it on Lookout Cay. So you can buy that kind of thing at Disney Tings or the First and Last Chance stand. And it was awful crowded, a lot of people in there. We might try to get a little bit more footage of the merchandise the next time we go back if we have the opportunity. Then we wanted to head on to the nature trail, because we were really excited to see this nature trail. We'd heard about a nature trail scavenger hunt. At least that was in our navigator on our app, but I really didn't see a scavenger hunt, right?
I didn't see scavenger hunt either, no.
But again, this is the preview cruise, so maybe there's more things up and coming, but it was more of an informational hunt. You walk down this really well-manicured nature trail. They're doing a great job getting it built up and put in place, and you could read signs about some of the nature and the wildlife. Now, we don't know this for sure. We don't know where it'll be, but we've been told that there is a 5K coming. The 5K did not take place today during the preview cruise, but we have been told that they're working on it and it will be coming in the near future, but they didn't define near future. So we have no answer for that. However, because I spotted water stations along the nature trail, I suspect that might be part of the 5K, don't you think?
I have a similar inkling, yeah. Having run the Castaway Cay 5K before, the identical water stations, I would not be shocked at all if the nature trail was also part of the 5K, especially since the nature trail isn't really a dirt path, isn't really a sand path. It's almost like a layer of sand on top of concrete. It feels firm to run on, and I feel like it's definitely possible. They are also making additions, so as you can see here, there's clearly signs that say, and they're working on different paths, so that could be a different path for the 5K. Who knows?
We enjoyed the walk. It was a fairly easy walk. It wasn't any kind of a hike or something that was hard to get through, and that led us to the lighthouse at the end. And the lighthouse is kind of the culminating point of the trail, because that is where Lighthouse Point got its name.
Yeah, so that lighthouse has been there since the beginning of the island of Eleuthera or whatever, and I think that it was worth the walk. I definitely think that was the highlight of the nature trail.
So that brings us to the close of our day. We got off the ship at around 10:15, 10:30. Well, that was the time when everyone could get off the ship. We got in line, didn't make it off right at that time. But then we had to be back on the ship by 5:45. But we wanted to make sure we were leaving the island shortly after 5, or leaving the Goombay Cultural Center to get back on the tram, to get back to the ship, to walk back across the pier again. This time we didn't wait too long for the trams. They were mostly empty, and that's probably because everybody kind of trickles back onto the ship versus when they are all getting off the ship at the same time. But we took the tram ride and the tram and went back to the pier. The next thing we wanted to explore for you, because there's been a lot of questions, was the family cabanas. So we're going to walk you around here through the family cabanas, because the family cabanas are near the ship after you cross the pier. They are not after the tram ride and over next to the Goombay Cultural Center and Tru Tru BBQ and all of those things. However, I did notice they were running large golf carts back and forth, so we didn't stay in one, but it is my suspicion that these golf carts would take the people that staying in the cabanas back and forth from the cabanas to the main areas, so they didn't have to wait. The view from these cabanas was very nice, because the Disney magic, or whatever ship happens to be
parked there. Yeah,
at the dock.
Definitely a stunning view. everything was really well kept, clean. It almost looked like a neighborhood. So I thought it was really cool.
They were absolutely adorable, and there are different cabanas that are different sizes for different party numbers. And there was a lifeguard on the beach as well. I did notice that at one time.
Yeah.
So there was a lifeguard watching the children playing in the beach, and it is truly a private beach because it's not connected to any of the other beach areas. Like at Castaway Cay, the adults area beach area doesn't connect to the family beach area, but at Lookout Cay, the adult beach area and the family beach is all one long beach.
All right, guys, we're back on board the Disney Magic now.
We had a full day of exploration and we didn't see it all. So stay tuned because we'll be back at Lookout Cay in a couple of weeks, and we'll try to make a short video to catch up on all the things that will be different from what we experienced on the preview cruise. We always enjoy creating content for you. Thank you so much for watching us. We've just been this great mom-son team for so many years.
And it's hopefully going to be so many more as well.
All right, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.